Good morning, Debo. Good morning, Carvey. Bye, Michelle. Uh, John Boy, Jermaine, Tito, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Phone lines open 414-444-5250, 414-5250. Shout out to the University of Tennessee for the Volunteers. They won the College Baseball World Series last night. It turned out to be they were up like 6-1 or something like this, and Texas A&M made a little run, but the Vols were the one seed, and they said this is the first number one seed in the World Series, College World Series, that's actually won the NCAA championships. And all right, Florida Panthers, you didn't choke. They pulled it out last night. They dropped three straight. Thought that Edmonton was going to be able to um, kind of run the table on them, but they didn't. So congratulations to the Florida Panthers based in Miami. I think it's really interesting. The last maybe 5 years, two of the Stanley Cup winners are based in Florida from a game that was created in Canada. So, so we got that. Brewers won. Come back, Texas. So anyway, that's a little sports update. And then, God, I taped it. I didn't watch the men's 400-meter finals last night. There's a young man from the DMV. I think he's from Maryland, and he's like 16 years old, and he made the finals. He didn't win, but he made the finals. So that was the men's 400 last night. Anybody watch the steeplechase? Oh man, that's an interesting race, boy. And I don't know if people know the steeplechase is. You have these steeples out, water hazards that you run, and the object is to get over the steeple. Obviously, don't fall in the water. So to watch some of these people take these falls is just amazing. So again, they're finishing up the U.S. Track and Field Championships. Um, these are basically the Olympic trials, and so people are going to make the Olympic team. Um, should be interesting. I saw they had posted, and I'll pull it up. I'm sure we'll probably talk about it on Friday. What the men's and the women's basketball teams are going to be looking like for the Olympics going forward. The women have just been dominant. I think they've won like the last six. They've just been dominant. So we'll see what that looks like. And it's going to be interesting because the WNBA All Stars will do an exhibition game against the women's Olympic team. So we'll get a chance to see what that looks like in terms of some of the rising stars in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. I'm assuming they're going to probably make the All Star team and see what it looks like when they play. So we're about 6 weeks away from the Olympics. So I'm looking forward to it. I really love it. It's when I was young, one of the first sports that Roy Hill did, Roy Hill Sr., Mr. Hill, when he started Athletes for Youth was track. Now, a lot of us, when we did AFY, we ended up playing basketball or football, but originally it started off as a track club. And my uncle was part of it back in the day, and then I think he went to football and then basketball. And I just saw that they're doing was it the 50th anniversary of Warning? Yeah, and they started yesterday. They had the tip off yesterday. Anybody remember the Warning League started by Commander Michael McGee and some other folks, my good friend Tyrone Hooper and other guys who were there. I think Hubert Campfield. There's some names out there, and they started the Warning League and just the great players that's going through Warning. And so um, I don't know if this is a relaunch of Warning. They've been doing it, but this year is the 50th anniversary. I did go down a couple of years ago as part of Milwaukee Film. There's a documentary they've done on the Warning League. So I got a chance to go and see that. But I do know if you from Natatorium, Green Bay, Victor Berger, trying to think 38th Street. There was 29th Street, all these AFY, and some great teams. Some great teams.
A lot of the guys were here. Will Wade,
Yep.
a bunch of them were just here Thursday, I think it was.
Okay.
Was it Friday? Carvey. Huh? Never mind. The day that the basketball team were here with Kwapana. It might have been the day he was out. He had to leave early.
Okay.
But yeah, they were all here, man. A lot of those cats, some of which went on to play in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Michael Wilkes.
Right. A bunch of them were here. So they were talking about it, and it never really stopped. The name just changed.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I think they're back on the playgrounds now.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the 90s, 2000s, they were in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the documentary. I don't know what gym they were playing in, but they were playing in the gym. But originally, and it was based on, because Tyrone Hooper was from New York. And so it was based on Rucker, the whole Rucker League, and having the city game played outside. And the cool thing about the Warning League back in the day was that you got a full uniform. I mean, including sneakers, and so great. So shout out to
one of the guys was saying that when he finished up in the Warning League and went on to play college ball, those very same Converse he wore into the gym.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah.
It was now, it comes with its issues, obviously. Rivalries are real. Columbia, forgot about them.
Mm-hmm.
Those rivalries were real. I think King Center had a team. Your neighborhood was your neighborhood. I grew up in the Victor Berger neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And so that would be Blaine Hampton and Baylou and Kenny Ellison and London King. There was another brother who played with them too. This would have been the late 70s, early 80s. This brother ended up going to Pan America. There were some great ball players. Mm-hmm. Now, again, our Avenue never had a Warning team.
Right.
Our Avenue, though, was it was one of those spots that people went to play. And then it was nothing like playing at Columbia on Sundays. Playing at Columbia on Sundays, Columbia Playground over there, right in back of Metropolitan Church, and we would be out there, man. And those Sunday, man, the place be packed.
That thing was kind of built up the way that park sits in the middle of all of those houses.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of built up a little different to me, to where it was like you were in a marquee situation.
You were, yeah. You had that court, and to see the little guys who end up, especially from Columbia, that team with Bonji and L.A. Ingram and Lawrence Ingram and Michael Brown, the late Michael Brown, and some other players. They were good. I think they won state championship in 80 at North Division, but I'd watched them play. I'll tell you another group of guys that I saw, Willie Hines and Hoyt Mahaley, and there was a couple other guys that was on that that went to King.
I don't say Hines went to King.
Yeah, and watch them in this old, I don't know whose station wagon that was, but to watch them when they were like middle schoolers, and now they would have been like high school. They pull up in that van, to be 5 or 6 of them.
Probably Ellie Hines' van. All the kids he had, he
needed it was
a larger vehicle.
Watch them pull up and play. So, and I'm kind of old school. I understand now.
You remember the gym up over West Side?
No. Oh, yeah, but who was ever over there? You talking about on 26th Street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played up there a few times.
Did you?
Yeah.
I remember Hepatha's gym. That was another one of those gyms. But, yeah, they did have a gym over at West Side. West Side had a good team, though, and in the church league. They were actually very good. It's interesting to, we are who we are, right?
Right.
And so, and Bishop Hines told this story. He was talking about how, and the fact that he's such a great golfer, I just never looked at him as being athletic, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he said he couldn't play basketball. Westside had a team. They asked him to be on the team. He said, man, I couldn't play. Now, Mickey Roberson, now that's a different story. Yeah. He could ball. And But then he told the story, and I forgot this. He said that the late Bishop Daniels wasn't the manager of the team. He wasn't the coach of the team. He was the president of the team. That should have been telling you where he was going in life, where he was playing.
No, he was never in the kind of shape to where you.
Well, he was never an athlete. Now,
Right.
Reggie Daniels, he's a little ball player. Yeah. I mean, so, you'd had all those things. I always just thought in the summertime basketball should be played on the playground. I understand people were more concerned, as they should be, about their knees and what that looks like playing outdoors. But it was nothing like, man, when you go to a playground, it's packed of people doing that, especially the Sundays. Oh, that's right. And they restarted the Warning League over at Mo Park. Where Lincoln Park? Yeah, but that's Mo, where the basketball courts.
Back part. Okay.
Yeah, and so and they really had some great runs there toward the summer. So